Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another crochet tutorial. Today I'm going to share with you how I make these reusable coffee sleeves. This particular pattern is beginner friendly, it works up fairly quick, and it's customizable. So if you have a smaller or wider mug than this, or a standard mug, then you can add or subtract chains at the beginning in the starting row to customize it to that particular mug. That being said, these make fantastic stocking stuffers, great gifts, especially if you pair it with a nice mug, and it works up fairly quick, like I said, and all you need are the materials in front of you. So some scissors, some yarn needles, a H hook or a 5mm hook for this particular pattern, and some cotton yarn. This particular yarn is just the sugar and cream from your box stores. I think it retails for $2.99, and an entire skein will get you quite a few sleeves out of it. But the reason we're choosing cotton is because number one, it's durable. Number two, you can wash it and not have to worry about it falling apart, or you don't have to worry. And number three, if you're like me who likes to use your coffee sleeves with iced coffee or cold coffee, this doesn't get ruined or felted from the condensation on the glass. I keep one in my car, in my husband's car, in my purse, so it's gonna get dirty, and that's what's important to me, especially now, is to be able to wash it without having to worry about it. So that's why I choose cotton. And it helps with that heat transfer as well. So you're not going to have really hot hands, hence the coffee sleeve. All right, so that being said, let's go ahead and get started. All right, adjusted the camera so hopefully we can get a closer look. All right, so all we're gonna do is start out with a slip stitch, or slip knot, excuse me, slip knot. And we're gonna just take it around your finger like that, make a loop, and pull the longer tail through. Boom. All right, so there is your slip knot. Then we're gonna take our hook, insert it, adjust that knot to the hook, and now we're going to chain 35 chains. Now this is where it's customizable. So if you have a wider mug, you're going to want to add more chains. If you have a smaller mug, you're going to want to subtract the chains. And your best bet is if you have the mug that you want that's custom, to have it around so you can measure to that mug. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, so we're going to chain 35. Okay, so now we have this long 35 chain thing here, and we're going to make it into a circle instead of a row. This is what I mean by working in the round. So without twisting the chain crazy, we're going to connect this end to this end from right to left. So we're going to straighten that out so it's not twisted like this. We're going to straighten it out. And then we're going to connect the hook to that first chain that we ever chained. We're going to insert it there. I'm trying to do this so you can see, which is probably not going to be the best way to do it, but we'll try. Okay, so it's in that first chain. So you have the last chain that you crocheted on your hook and your first ever chain now on your hook. And you're going to now take the tail and pull yarn over and pull through that last chain and pull through the pull through the first chain and then pull through the last chain, and that's going to be your slip knot or slip stitch. Oh my goodness. And then you're going to chain one. All right, apparently I've not had enough coffee today. So chain one, and then in that same original first chain that you ever did, you're going to create your first single crochet. So insert it, yarn over, pull through. So you have 2 loops on your hook, and yarn over, pull through both loops, and that's your first single crochet. And you're going to continue to do this all the way around. So single crochets in each chain, and I will meet you back when I have those all done. Okay, so I have 2 stitches left. So I'm going to insert my hook, single crochet, and then my last one, insert my hook, single crochet. Now the thing that gets confusing for some beginners is that this little loop right here, if you can see, this guy is not a chain. It's your stitch that you slip stitched. So don't insert your hook there, otherwise you're going to get a bowed sleeve. So you're not going to have a straight line. So don't stitch in there, don't stitch in there. You're going to insert your hook through here. Okay, see that? Yarn over, pull through, and now you have 2 loops. Pull through that last loop. Okay, so again, slip stitch, and then you're going to chain 1. And now you're going to insert your hook back into that same single crochet from the previous row, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both loops, and that is your single crochet. And you're going to keep going across again, inserting it into each stitch, making a single crochet. So again, all the way around. And you're going to continue to do this same pattern for the next 9 rows. So you should have a total of 10 single crochet rows. Okay, so I'll meet you back when I'm about done, and then we can finish the sleeve up. All right, I'm on the 9th row now, and I don't think I'm gonna have enough yarn to do a 10th row. But we'll see, we'll wing it here. I think we might. I'm using like the last little bit of this yarn that I have. So let's play chicken and see what happens. So, okay, again, here's that last stitch. Pull through. So that is my last single crochet of the row. So do you see how these kind of like go in a slant? And that's kind of like your seam here. All right, this is not a stitch, and that is not a stitch. But this right here is what you slip stitch into. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull through that loop on your hook, and chain 1. And then insert your hook back into that same stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both loops for your single crochet. All right, so then I'm going to keep going here with this last row and see if I run out. Sometimes it's fun playing chicken with your yarn. I don't know how many times I thought I had enough yarn and I looked down at my yarn bowl and sadly mistaken. And then I have to undo what I did. So much fun. All right, so then you just continue on with your single crochet. And you know, this pattern too, you can do in the back loops. So instead of going through both loops there, you can go through the back loop. and it'll create a ridged effect, which is like this guy here. So it'll create that like ridged texture. You can add borders to it. Oh, there goes my yarn. Let's see. Oh yeah, I have enough. And you can do whatever kind of stitch you want, but I'm keeping it fairly simple and easy because, like I said, this is a beginner friendly pattern. And not only that, but like, again, if you keep it simple, then you can work up many at one time, and it's not going to be, you know, this big, long 5-hour project for you guys. You can get multiple projects done in an hour, which is such a great feeling when you're able to get so much done. Okay, so we're coming up to our last 2 stitches, 1, 2 here. Okay, so insert, yarn over, pull through both, insert, yarn over, pull through both there. And again, this is not a stitch. We're going to go through. You can always tell what is a stitch because it has that V when you turn it on its side. So you always want to go through that V, pull, yarn over, pull through, and pull through that's on your hook. And then we're going to make 1 more chain, but we're actually going to turn this into a slip knot. So leave enough of a tail to where you can weave in comfortably. Cut the rest off, and now we're going to pull through and create a slip knot again. Okay, then you have 2 tails, and we're just going to weave them through on the wrong side of the sleeve, so that way you won't see the weaving on the outside. It will have this seam, but it's fairly invisible. What's nice about doing it with the slip stitch is that you're not you have a full straight edge here. If you were just to continue to go in the round and not slip stitch and connect each one like that, it wouldn't have a flat edge. It would have more of a diagonal because you're ending on like you're adding to the row. Anyway, I'm talking about stuff that doesn't matter right now, but so there is going to be somewhat of a seam, but if you don't want a seam at all, then I would highly suggest just continuously stitching around. You're just going to end up with more of a diagonal edge. So let's go ahead and get our yarn needle. Find one that fits your particular weight of yarn, so that way you can weave in your ends comfortably. Okay, so insert it, and then we're gonna weave in from the wrong side. So I just stick my needle down in here, and for me, there's no right or wrong way of weaving. I just kind of make sure I go in and out of my stitches, and then at least do 3 to 5 weavings, and then that way I know that it's not going to come out or fall apart. Just kind of do whatever. And that's probably wrong and inappropriate. And if you're, you know, an expert crocheter, you're probably shaking your head at me right now. But, you know, to each their own. And then you just cut off that excess of a tail. And you do the same thing for the other tail. Insert your yarn in your needle, and then you use the inside or the wrong side of your sleeve to weave through, because you don't want to be seeing any crazy weavings on the outside. So just kind of make sure that they're tucked in. And I'm going to go in and out in a zigzag kind of way, because then that yarn is not going to go anywhere. But like I said, there's probably like a much more professional way of doing it. But this is just how I do it. And that, you know, it hasn't given me any issues, knock on wood. But that's it. Cut off the excess. And then you have your very own reusable coffee sleeve. Now again, you can double check, make sure, actually what I should say is make sure you're double checking your chain around your particular mug. So when you chain 35, wrap it around your mug and make sure that it's going to connect, because again, not all mugs are made the same. I made this to be able to fit this kind of style of a mug. And this is my current mug that I'm drinking out of right now, so don't mind the lipstick marks. So it'll fit around your standard mug, travel mug, I should say. But you know, if you're wanting to make a bigger or smaller width or diameter sleeve, you're going to want to adjust those chains to fit that. And that's what wrapping that chain tail around would do for you. All right. So hopefully this helped you guys out. Hopefully this made sense. Hopefully it was fun for you. I enjoyed it. I think you know, for me, I need to have a coffee sleeve. You can make these as wide or as small as you'd like. I will leave the pattern down in the comments below, should you need to refer to it. And again, you can customize this with different kind of stitches in the back loops. There are mostly infinity ways of making coffee sleeves. And if this is too much of a confusion for you to go in a circle, kind of like in an infinity loop like we did, you can always go back to back in a row, like to turn, and then connect the two ends together and whip stitch it. So that way there's going to be a seam again, but it's just back and forth. You just turn your work instead of going in a circle. So that might be easy for some of you too. You're just going to have to remember to chain one before you go on to the next row. All right. So sorry, the dogs are barking at the neighbors and nobody wants to hear that. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully this has helped you. So if you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, subscribe, share it out to those who you know would enjoy it, and hit that notification bell on your way out of this video. That way you'll never miss an upload from me. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.